There's a good chance that Calgary Flames fans won't have a lot to cheer for this upcoming season. With the team going through a transitional phase, you can expect more losses than wins. But with that being said, there are still plenty of games on the schedule that Calgary Flames fans will be and can be pumped up for this upcoming season. We're all excited. But before we dive into these games, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family, and I know there's going to be a ton of games on the schedule this season that pump us up. But you know what pumps me up? Have you heard that the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? It's a whole new movement toward better habits, like the good habit of being a Flames fan, led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume. If you haven't heard of flavored air, I can tell you right now that it's not like vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, fume cores are closer to herbal teas. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through a passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion, so you can use it anywhere. Fume is safe to use as they continuously invest in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products and are backed by doctors in the US. I know most Flames fans are stoked for the opening of Scotia Place in the near future, but another thing you can be stoked about is drawing flavor to your mouth without using nicotine. There's many delicious flavors including cinnamon, spearmint ice, and black licorice, and I recommend trying them all. Fume has served over 300,000 customers, and you can be the next success story. For a limited time, use my code DIGEST to get your free topper. It's the perfect accessory to your Fume device. Slip it onto the mouthpiece for a softer, warmer feel. It's chewable for those who love to fidget, and it's reusable. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, and use code DIGEST or scan the QR code on screen to get your free Fume topper when you order your Journey Pack today. No, seriously, if you haven't checked out Fume yet, please make sure you go check out their stuff. They've got some doozies over there. But let's get into the bread and butter of this video, and we're talking about some exciting games, some games that can just pump us up for this season when it might be a little bit tougher to get butts in seats this year. There's still some great games on the schedule, and we'll divide it into two kind of categories. The first one is, well, it's firsts. So the first time that a certain thing is happening at the Dome each game that one of these occurs, there's something cool about it. So let's dive into this article here. I'm actually going to switch to this screen. I like this one better. Calgary Flames, best games to watch in 2024-25. This comes from Derek Olson of the Hockey Writers, and he writes some great stuff. And guess what? I agree with everything he says for the content in this video. So if we get into the first one here, it is the first game at the Saddledome, of course, the home opener. First game at the Dome. There you go. There's the first emphasis once again. But here you go. Season home opener versus the Philadelphia Flyers of all teams as the first game in the Dome this year. So not many games in a season are better than the first at the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Sea of Red will be rocking the home barn for the first time on October 12th against the Flyers. Both franchises are quite evenly matched as each features rosters with developing young cores laden with veteran pieces and also teams that aren't really expected to be all that good. They're also the two team names that start with FL. How fun is that? The two teams played twice in 2023-24, with each team taking one game apiece. The Flames took the first meeting at home in regulation by a score of 4-3. The Flyers took game 2 in Pennsylvania with a 3-2 regulation win of their own. This will technically be one of the last home openers at the Dome, with the Flames' new arena, Scotia Place, slated to open for business in 2027. And that's an interesting way to look at it. It's one of the last home openers at the Saddledome. They're ticking down, you know, there's only a few left. So here's one. And again, of all teams, it's against the Flyers that early in the season. I think it's super, super exciting. I think the Dome honestly will be rocking for that one. Of course it is for the home opener. And who knows, with all the players that the Flames still have that were doing so good towards the end of last year. You think of how Kuzmenko was playing. Think of the stats that Coleman, Kadri were putting up, MacKenzie Weegar. We still have all those guys. It's still going to be super, super fun. I am pumped for this one. Let's get into the next first, and that is the first Battle of Alberta against the Oilers, which is literally the next night on October 13th. So what does every Flames fan look forward to year after year? Well, the historic Battle of Alberta, of course. No game can match the intensity and passion of one against the bitter provincial rival Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid and company will play host to the Flames for this season's first edition of the Classic, taking place the day after their home opener. So just go right up the QE2, and our next game is in Edmonton. Luckily, fans get 2 more renditions in 2024-25 as they also play November 3rd in Cowtown and March 29th in Oil Country. This past season, the Oilers won the head-to-head matchup 3-1. This included the 2023 NHL Heritage Classic played at the Commonwealth Stadium. This was the first outdoor Battle of Alberta in history. Afterwards, the Oilers would, of course, they did something that, whatever. We don't need to talk about that. Either way, it's going to be super fun. That first Battle of Alberta will pump Flames fans up no matter what. Who knows what the outcome could be? You know, any given Sunday kind of thing. I don't know if this game's happening on a Sunday or not, but either way, you know how the saying goes. Who knows what could happen? It could be super, super fun. Oilers fans always bring the passion as well. You know, credit due to them. Maybe not quite as much passion as Flames fans, of course, but either way, it's going to be super fun for the first Battle of Alberta of this season, as well as the next couple. Let's get into the last of kind of these firsts we're talking about, and it is Connor Bedard comes to town for the first time. So Bedard actually missed out on the game, I think it was, just one in Calgary last season, but on October 15th, knock on wood, fingers crossed he's healthy for this one. It will be his first time playing in Calgary as a professional NHL player. This one on October 15th. So 3 games in 4 days to get absolutely amped for. Let's see the description of this one. Lots of things happened for the Flames in the first few weeks. Yes, you heard it right. 2023 first overall draft pick and reigning Calder Trophy winner Connor Bedard will step foot in the Saddle Dome for the first time on October 15th, 2024. First time as a Blackhawk, we should say. Of course, he did play in the WHL and played the Hitmen many times. The Flames and his Chicago Blackhawks met thrice in 2023-24, twice in the Windy City. Bedard was injured for 1 home game and also didn't dress for the Flames' 1-0 victory at home on January 27th. I actually remember that game. It was decent for a 1-0 game, but again, it wasn't the most watchable hockey. It won't be his first time playing the Flames as he dressed for the Blackhawks' 3-1 victory on home ice on March 26th, 2024. Bedard registered 1 assist and 5 shots on goal in the victory. So he's had his first game against the Flames. He's had his first point against the Flames, but who knows? This is going to be his first Flames home game, his first away game as a member of the Blackhawks, and who knows, he could get that first goal against Calgary. We will just have to wait and see. Now, if we get into, there's one more first. No, it's not. I spoiled it, but let's get into the next chapter, which is returns. You already saw it for a second, so I'm going to bring it right back up, and that is Jacob Markstrom's first game. I think that's supposed to say game against the Flames since the trade. It will be welcoming back Markstrom to the Saddle Dome. That should be very, very exciting. So the Flames notably shipped off their starting goalie Jacob Markstrom this offseason. Signed away from the Vancouver Canucks back in 2020, Markstrom appeared in 213 games over the past 4 seasons for the Flames. It honestly felt like less to me. I don't know why, but 213 games for the Flames, man, he was really there for us. He had a combined record of 105, 78, and 25, also registering 15 shutouts. All of them pretty much came 2 seasons ago. He was incredible. He was remarkable in his second season with the team, finishing as runner-up for the Vezina Trophy as the NHL's best goalie in 21-22, so I guess 3 seasons ago, technically. Markey was sent to the Devils this June in exchange for young defender Kevin Ball and a 2025 first-round pick. The Swede will be back in town on November 1st as a member of the Devils and should see a nice video tribute for his services. Whether or not he starts against his former team will be unknown. The Flames and Devils play again on March 20th, 2025 in New Jersey. So either way, I agree here. Markstrom is not going to get booed. It wasn't his fault the way that he left. He never made it publicly open that he wanted to leave. It was more of an organization thing. And then it was more of a media thing than anything else. And of course, we had to come to this agreement that it wasn't going to work out. Our plans for the future lie with the future. Well, really, with just the future in general. Markstrom, great goalie, but had to move on. He will not get booed. It's going to be so exciting to see him back in the Dome as a member of a different team. So that one coming on November 1st, mark your calendars. Another one of these returns we're talking about is not the first return of these guys, but it's their first together, and that is on December 3rd. We have Johnny Hockey and Sean Monahan back together as members of the Blue Jackets. So speaking of former players, 2 former Flames draft picks and longtime team members will play against them as members of the Blue Jackets on December 3rd. You can pause it here and read the rest of that. I mean, we all kind of know how it went. Johnny Gaudreau is more of a Judas. Sean Monahan has a way softer spot in many hearts of many Flames fans, and it'll be interesting to see them playing back together again. I mean, by December, who knows what the situations will be? I mean, again, knock on wood, everyone is healthy, but who knows if they'll even be playing on a line together? I mean, if I'm Columbus, I definitely am putting them on a line together, even if it's just for the Flames game. But either way, it's going to be super, super exciting. Again, you can expect some boos for Johnny Hockey, probably not for Monahan, but it will be touching in a weird sense to watch these two play again at the Dome. It'll be very, very interesting. If we get into the next return here, it is Elias Lindholm will make his return to the Saddledome, as he didn't last year as a member of the Canucks. And now, of course, he's no longer on Vancouver. He is on Boston. So 3 days after Tkachuk and Bennett come to town, yet another set of former Flames will set foot at the Dome, with Lindholm and Zadorov and the rest of the Bruins will play the Flames at home on December 17th. So yes, Lindholm, you can expect a strange reaction. I don't think he'll get booed senselessly. I mean, it's not like he really publicly wanted to leave, kind of. But either way, Zadorov, I don't know if he'll get booed either, but it'll be interesting to see them coming back as well. Definitely mark your calendars for this one. It's going to be fun to welcome back Lindholm. December is going to have so many former Flames coming back. Should be very, very exciting. Now, if we get into the last big return here, it is the return of Chris Tanev. So February 4th, it will be his first game against the Flames since the trade. Of course, was traded to the Dallas Stars. Did not sign there again. Instead, signed for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So finally, our last circled game of the 2024-25 campaign is the return of beloved stay-at-home blue liner Chris Tanev. The 34-year-old was traded to the Dallas Stars last season, playing in 19 regular season games and 19 playoff games with the club before they were eliminated by some team in the Western Conference Final. The Stars and Flames never met after this deal, and since then, Tanev signed a 6-year, $27 million contract with his hometown Toronto Maple Leafs as a free agent. And you know what? It's always exciting when the Leafs are in town, because let's admit it, when the Leafs are in town, there are more Leafs fans at the game than Flames fans. So the passion, the intensity is heightened like crazy. And to welcome back Chris Tanev, he is going to get a standing ovation from both sides of fans at that game. And he will most certainly get a video tribute as well. It will be very, very touching. I know a lot of people are excited for that one, me included. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do. And this one has to do with yesterday's video about the offer sheet kind of situation and proposals. And I like this comment here from Kim. Kim said, Bouchard and Nyes would be worthwhile additions. Nyes would be a steal for a second rounder. And I gotta agree with the Nyes part. If they were to sign him to an offer sheet and all it cost was a second rounder, that is great, because he has so many levels to his game. Bouchard, of course, would be a great addition. It might accelerate the kind of renovation rebuild a little bit too much. But at the same time, Bouchard would cost a lot for an offer sheet, which would be not only having that new contract, but also giving up all the picks. And to give all those picks to Edmonton when we're supposed to be bad, maybe not the most ideal. But either way, he is a very, very good player. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you check out Fume and have a wonderful rest of your day.